Hello.
We can start. Yes, ma'am, we can start. Yeah.
Distinguished speaker of the day, CA Gopal Krishna Raju sir, and my professional colleagues, happy evening and welcome you all to today's session of professional opportunities to young CAs. As we all are aware, CA professionals can choose to acquire new skills, continue their growth, and be ahead of the curve in today's competitive world. And when it comes to opportunities for young CAs, the opportunities have broadened and considerably in practice in the recent times, not just due to globalization of economies, but also because of new laws being enforced. There are numerous career opportunities for practicing NCAs, and the only requirement is to get them up and to provide them in-depth knowledge of the subject matter, so as have an edge over the other counterparts. So to throw light on various opportunities for NCAs, we have with us a seasoned speaker, CA Gopal Krishna Raju. He himself has done specialization in different fields, and I am also one of his student in valuation course, and happy to share the screen with him. And it's my privilege to introduce him as a speaker. CA Gopal Krishna Raju is a practicing chartered accountant, registered insolvency professional, and a registered valuer. And he hailed from family of chartered accountants. GKR have been awarded honorary doctorate in governance of GST in government sector by Mother Teresa University, Melbourne, Australia. He has qualified in company. He is associate member of Institute of Company Secretaries of India and got twin postgraduate diploma holder in operation research and in financial management from Pondicherry University. And he is also MPhil in management from Tamil Nadu Open University. He has done various certification courses, including forensic audit and fraud detection, Indian accounting standards, international trade laws and World Trade Organization, and he has completed his information system audit. He has authored 2 books, Standard Costing and Variance Analysis for Professional Students, and First Lessons in Information Technology for CA students, with 2 editions by Snowwhite Publishers Mumbai. GKR is a seasoned speaker on information technology, finance and taxation, and a visiting faculty for numerous institutions, corporates and B schools. GKR is a member of Institute of Directors, Bombay Chartered Accountant Society and Madras Management Association, and life member of Society of Auditors, and is a member of various prestigious institutions. To name a few, Finance and Taxation Panel member, FICCI, Tamil Nadu, Board of Studies, Guru Nanak College, and so on and so forth. So many, the list is going on and on. So with his no request, I'm just cut-shorting the details of the nominated colleges, and he is a chairman of Valuation Standards Board, All India Registered Institute Registered Valuers Organization. A passionate writer on technology and taxation in numerous journals and newspapers. He's a columnist in Tamil Daily, The Hindu Tamil, and weekly Tamil magazines, Nanayam Vigadam and Pudiya Talamurai Kalvi. Regularly appears interviewed in numerous Tamil TV channels and Tamil FM radios, including DD Podigai, Jaya TV, News 18 Tamil Nadu, Kaveri News, and FM Rainbow. And he is a versatile speaker, and he has addressed more than 600 plus meetings on GST to various forums, including professional bodies, Chamber of Commerce, industry, and trade associations in both English and Tamil languages. So with this very, very brief introduction, I'm now handing over session to our CAGKR, sir. Sir Gopal Krishna Raju, sir, the dais is yours.
Thank you very much. At the outset, let me thank Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Actually, today I am I will call myself as a 12th batsman, supposed to be senior member and very teacher for thousands of chartered accountants, CA, Mr. Pattabiram. So by location, I am not in India. I am outside India. But for the confidence reposed on me by my fellow member, and I'm always being a part of past regional council. I must admit one thing, that the past 9 years experience as a regional council member, a lot of grooming has happened as a speaker. And today, this topic is very important topic, and most I will call this as a topic which has to be dealt in every branch. Every member, every qualified member has to actually go through this particular topic. Professional opportunities for young chartered accountants. Now, this maybe if when I was qualified, today we are in 2022, and I have completed 25 years in our profession. So I belong to the 96 era. So maybe when I qualified, when I have qualified, I didn't had this kind of seminars. We didn't had actually, and over a period of time, we are able to understand the spread of the profession. And today, it is not only audit or tax alone. The opportunities are there. Plenty. I will say plenty of opportunities. I will only start with 3 points. Okay, I'll only start with 3 points, but I'm going to share with you at least 30 to 40 opportunities minimum. Okay, minimum. We have time actually, 1 hour and 45 minutes time is there. So I will go through 1.5 hours, 90 minutes I will take to share at least 30 to 40 opportunities which is available and within our reach. And for these opportunities, there are 3 fundamentals. And maybe if these 3 fundamentals are there, uh, the sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. And I'm not mentioning, I'm not distinguishing here between a member in industry or a member in practice. I'm not distinguishing. Okay. Now, there is a book also that has been published by our institute. I'll just share with you that particular book. This is that booklet, Roadmap for Young Practitioners. Of course, even though it mentions about young practitioners, it is also, we can say, it throws open avenues for people who want to even be in employment also. So this booklet is what I will be recommending you to download it. It is available. This is free download. Okay, so this is the link. I'll just copy this link and put it in the chat. Okay, so this is the chat. So this is the link. Okay, so maybe this link can be shared with all the participants also. So this is a 2021 book. So exactly a year before it was published. Now, guys, what are the 3 important aspects before I share with you these opportunities that is available? And whomsoever you have any queries during my discussion, please share it in the chat box. Now, before I start into the subject, I must thank regional council member and past treasurer of SIRC, CA AB Geeta from Bangalore, for the nice introduction and for the opening remarks. Thank you very much, Geeta, for being part of today's program. Now, what are the 3 important aspects? Number 1, update. The profession is growing in a direction where I will not say it is growing in content wise, but in the intellectual knowledge wise, intellectual content wise. Okay, so it actually matures. So it is not the 30 pages have become 300, 300 pages have become 3000. So it is not that the content what I refer in terms of number of pages, but the maturity that is required to actually grasp the subject. So continuous updation. This is, I will call it as mantra one. So there are three mantras, okay, and 42. Okay, so 42 opportunities I want to share. Okay, precisely 42. Okay, so three mantras and 42 opportunities. Mantra one, update, and for that, self update. So it is not. We have come through the formal education, and I actually believe rather than formal education, self education is where it will guide you, strengthen you, anchor you, and support you, help you to actually tune yourself, focus in the right direction. Self education. Okay, so updation is the first mantra. Then what is the second mantra? Okay, the second mantra is you can't see, you can't touch it, but you can only feel it. You can only feel it. It is values, integrity, the honesty in our profession. Maybe uh, there are there may be instances where young chartered accountants, because this is a session for young chartered accountants. So in the beginning, you may hear, okay, I bought my first car in my 7th year of practice. Okay, okay, today I can buy a number of cars. That is different. But for me, one shirt is enough, one pant is enough, one shoe is enough, one car is enough. Okay, so now my first car I bought in only in my 7th year of practice. So maybe my fellow my colleagues, they bought the car next day, next month they bought it. So I was going in two-wheeler, sometimes I was walking in streets. That doesn't mean that we are one step lower, or otherwise we ourselves get degraded. No, it is not like that. So it is your integrity, your values, what you inculcate within you. Okay, and maybe two three things I want to just share in, maybe in terms of values or integrity. The time what you commit to your client, the time what you commit to your family, okay, the time what you commit to your friends. Okay, so that is most important. That is most important. So you keep your time, and maybe that will actually make the other side also to realize, okay, we should also keep up our time. Okay, so keep up the promise. So any payment we have committed, okay, any work we have committed, okay, so try to. So this is how we slowly built our values. Okay, so in terms of keeping up our commitments, keeping up our promises. Okay, so our how we speak to people, how we carry ourselves, so each and everything. So that is what is called as values. So updation, second is values. Okay, maybe from institute perspective we have a different name for this, called ethics. So I'm not that specialist in the professional ethics part of it, but I practice the professional values. Okay, so one, updation, second is professional values. The third, most important, I will say, the best practices. So I'm from a second generation practice. Okay, so my father, mother, both are chartered accountants. So does that mean, okay, does that mean the practice followed by my previous generation I will follow, but I should follow? I have to continue the legacy, I have to continue the trend, I have to continue uh, the work. But the practice, the best practice, so in terms of you have updated yourself, then you need to have your offices also to that level. You need to have people capacity. Okay, so your best practices you have to imbibe from the world, not best practice in India, best practice in the world. So go around the world, meet people, meet professionals, go to their offices, interact with them, see how in Singapore they do profession, in Australia, how they do the profession, in Japan, how they do profession, Canada, United States, in United Arab Emirates. So how the profession is happening across the globe, in India, across various cities, Mumbai, how it happens, Bombay, how it happens. So best practices in India, best practices across the globe, we need to know what it is. Okay, good. So with these three mantras, I am now taking you into the main subject. Okay, I am now taking you into the main subject. So a lot of things are there, but we have very limited time. I said I have to take you to at least 42 pointers. So one by one I'll take you. Okay, so the first point is, okay, let me first start with number one. Okay, so these are all general points. Just go through this. I'm not going to bug you with all this stuff. Straight away, what are the opportunities? Okay, so number one opportunity, let me first start with, okay, the first one. uh, I think it's here. It starts with here, opportunities. Okay, good. So I think this is visible to all of you. It is visible. Good. Okay, the link also I have shared to everybody, so you can say you can download it later. But number one, the financial accounting. So I need not spend time on this aspect. Wherever the subject is very simple, I will not pay much attention to the stuff. Okay, so here, especially today, I need not be an auditor. I need not do attest function, but I can give support services like preparation of accounting manual, bookkeeping services. So we have various, what do you call it, as the online bookkeeping services. So today we have, what do you call it, a Zoho Books is there. Okay, Zoho Books. So this is Zoho Books. So this is actually a online accounting software. So you can call it as cloud accounting software. So you have Profit Books. Okay, so you have so many other online books softwares. So that will be one way. And one advantage of using a cloud-based accounting is, maybe all of you are aware about it, that anywhere, anytime, any place, people can actually open the system and log in. So that is one advantage. So this is one opportunity that is available today. You can do bookkeeping services to not one company, but you can give for 10 companies, and give for 20 companies, and each month, instead of having their own accountant, okay, so where one accountant, they have to pay at least 40,000 to 50,000 plus the entire team, they have to spend a minimum a lakh or 2 lakhs only for accounting. You can bill for a lakh rupee for one client. Maybe if there are 10 or 20 clients, my goodness, so that is a very good opportunity. Financial management advisory, especially for high net worth individuals. Okay, high net worth individuals today, they need investment advisory, expenditure advisory, savings advisory. Okay, then coming to corporate business advisory. So innumerable services are possible, especially people want to go for a new business. So it can be a greenfield venture or a brownfield venture. What is greenfield? They want to start a new unit in state. Okay, they have not ventured there at all, but so starting from the feasibility, then funding, and what is the value, whether there is any economic value, whether there is any economic feasibility, is that everything. So all those will come under corporate business advisory, IPO consultation. So taking a company from their maybe individual to partnership, partnership to private limited, private limited to public limited, public limited to first dilution, second dilution, and then taking them to the BSc or NSC SME platform, and then taking them to the main platform. So all these requires hand holding and advisory services. Good. So I will not spend much time on auditor. Okay, so that is the core function, but I will now take you to the international taxation. And wherever there is a necessity for additional additional skill set that is required for a chartered accountant, That is a place where institute has brought out post qualification course. Now people have one idea that okay, if I do a post qualification course, then okay, I'll be in a position to do well. It is not so. The skill is actually enhanced. You are more knowledgeable. I said the three mantras. One is updation, second values, third is the best practices. So if you have got an if you have got a non-resident client, it can even be a resident client who want to acquire. Today, Indian companies, there is no, it's not only Tata, Birlas and Reliance, they are Adani's only can go for corporate acquisition outside India. Today, private limited companies, the SMEs, the MSMEs, they go for acquisition outside India. So then international taxation becomes part and parcel of that particular topic. So please understand that this is also a very important area, and wherever there is a need for maybe your knowledge updation. And today majority of this post qualification course on international taxation is already included in our CA final syllabus also. Okay, good. So I just want to share with you an interesting part. IP planning, it is called intellectual property planning. Okay, that's one bit I will give. How to advise and evaluate alternatives for the intangible property owned by group in appropriate jurisdiction in order to achieve the tax efficiency. Okay, so where I should actually invest so that the advantage of transfer of or sale of that particular intellectual property will have a minimal tax effect. So this is actually so rather than setting up a shop in India, I'll set up a shop in okay, UAE, I'll set up a shop in Sweden, I'll set up a shop in Israel. So where should I set up? Okay, or in tax havens. Okay, good. Then I will not speak about direct taxes or about indirect taxes. That is our core, I will call it as an opportunity. So apart from the core opportunity, I just want to discuss so many other aspects. Insolvency profession. Guys, India, IBBI, so the regulator. So we have various regulators. Reserve Bank of India for the monetary, okay, for the banking sector. SEBI is for the capital market. So for the what do you call it as the fiscal market? I mean, for the capital market, you have SEBI as a regulator, and for the money market, you have RBI as a regulator. Then ICAI is a regulator for regulating the profession of accountancy. Similarly, IBBI is there to regulate the profession of insolvency professionals, insolvency professional agency. Okay, now today our Institute of Chartered Accountants, they have actually promoted. They will founded. Okay, IPA, triple IP ICAI. Okay, so this is so triple IP ICAI, triple IP ICAI. Okay, so this is your our institutes founded. Okay, so IP, it is our institute has founded Indian Institute of Insolvency. So this is a program which is going to happen on 26th March virtual. Okay, so Indian Institute of Insolvency Professionals, or ICAI. So this is one body which has been formed under Section 8, and parallelly the Institute of Company Secretaries of India also formed ICSA IPA, Institute of Customers of India also formed ICMA IPA. So there are only 3 IPAs. So if I have to become an insolvency professional, I have to get enroll myself with any of the 3 IPAs, not necessarily only with triple IP ICAI. They are independent body, but founded by ICAI. And today, a chartered accountant with 10 years of experience can become an insolvency professional. Number 1. Number 2, Madam Geeta, okay, regional council member, have recently qualified last year. If I'm right, last year she qualified as an insolvency professional. So my congratulations to Madam Geeta on behalf of each and every one of us virtually who are present here. Okay. Now, point to be noted today, default. Okay, our clients, no, they default in borrowings. Okay, and sometimes our client will be dealing with receivables where their clients, okay, our client's client, okay, so their receivables are also defaulted. Then what is the advisory we need to give? How to actually handle such type of scenarios? So solvent situation is where the asset value is high and liability is less. But how about reverse? The liability is more and asset value is less. How to resolve? Okay, so you need to understand because this today this law, it actually started with our CA final syllabus with 8 marks only. Okay, now this has now become 16 mark mandatory question. In CA final, this has become a 16 mark mandatory question for your information. Okay, and today's youngsters are I will say they are a little more comfortable handling an insolvency scenario or an insolvency situation because they already know what the law is all about. Okay, so and what type of services? What type of services? Innumerable. Okay, right from advisory, assisting in CIRP preparation, and working out resolution plan, negotiating with the banker. Okay, then advice on optimum utilization, representation before NCLT. And today, one sitting with before NCLT, the minimum fee will be 25K to 50K to 1 lakh. Okay, so that much of potential is there. Just one sitting. Okay. So and many are there. Now come to registered value. Wow, amazing, amazing potential. You have 16 RVOs. So similar to your insolvency profession, we have 3 tier. Okay, actually 2 regulators are there. One is a super regulator IBBI, another is a tier 2 regulator IPS. Similarly, for a valuation, you have a super regulator IBBI and a tier 2 regulator. You have the registered valuers organization, and there are 16 RVOs are there. ICAI RVO, ICAI registered valuers organization, and you have other 15 RVOs. And for your information, ICAI RVO is the second largest registered valuer organization. Of course, the first one is the IOV RVF, Institute of Valuers Registered Valuer Foundation. They have the maximum number. So out of 4,000 valuers, okay, 1,500 valuers are only from IOV RVF. The second number is from ICAI RVO. So close to 800 valuers are from ICAI Registered Valuer Organization, and I happen to be one among a registered valuer out of the 4,000 plus. Okay, good. Now today, not only this valuation is not only mandated in certain laws. Okay, for example, where valuation is mandated, Companies Act valuation is mandated, and then SEBI valuation is mandated. Number 3, insolvency bankruptcy code is mandated. Where it is and of course Companies Act, I have mentioned it. Where it is not mandated but it is a requirement. Okay, for example, the Income Tax Act. The Income Tax Act valuation under Income Tax Act is there. For example, Rule 11 UA valuation, when there is a allotment of shares, further allotment of shares. So at what price you will allot? Okay, will you allot at fair value? I mean, will you allot at par value? Okay, maybe the fair value or the book value is 10 rupees share, book value is 43. Will you allot at 43 or 10 rupees? Okay, so then the difference between 43 and 10 rupees, 33 rupees becomes income for the person who is actually subscribing, because the 43 rupee worth of share is available at 10 rupees. So Income Tax Act is also very keen on valuation. GST law is also very keen on valuation. For example, I am a landowner. I am giving my land for development, joint development, and in lieu of the land, I am getting a, what do you call it, as a constructed building or an apartment. Then is it a service? Yes. Is it subject to GST? Yes. Then what is the GST amount? On the rate, you will multiply the rate on what value. So that is where the interesting part is. It depends upon the time of supply. Okay, depends upon the time of supply. The time will decide the value. So every situation, valuation is very significant. And today there are chartered accountants who specialize only in valuation. Okay, who specialize. I will say they focus their only attention on this particular aspect. Okay, good. So now the next aspect is RERA. So it is the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016. Now, post 2000, pre-2016, pre-RERA, post-RERA. The pre-RERA is a different era. Now, post-RERA is, I will call it as a regulated era. Okay, regulated era. Now, what is this RERA is all about? Where if the number of, if you are going to convert a very big piece of land into small pieces and you're going to sell, okay, or a very big piece of land you want to construct into apartments, and where the number of units is more than a n number of units, and that n is actually 8. So if the number of apartments is more than 8, then you should register that entire project under RERA. And the fund management, okay, from where I am receiving the money, where I should invest the money, where I should actually how I should actually use that particular money, have to be monitored, have to be monitored and certified by a chartered accountant. It should be certified by a chartered accountant. So therefore, this is one area where there is a mandatory requirement. There is a mandatory requirement of the chartered accountant services. Okay, so we don't stop with, and this is one reason why in our corporate and other laws new CA final study material, the insolvency bankruptcy code is included, the RERA is included, and Prevention of Money Laundering Act is included, Binami Property, Prohibition of Binami Property Transaction Act is included. So many related laws have been included. Good. Now let me take you to the out of the three mantras plus the 11th scope. Okay, so information technology. So I will call this as the subject of present and future. Okay, and especially ABCD, that is artificial intelligence, blockchain, and cyber security, digital analytics. So these 4 subjects are now becoming, I will call this as the ABCD. Okay, so actually C is cyber security, or you can even call this as the cloud computing also. Okay, the cloud computing also. Now, so here in all these 4, there is a need for chartered accountants role. I'll just share with you only one. Say, for example, RPA. I'll just start with only one. The robotic process automation. So today, there are many places where process automation can be done, where repeated work is there. Repeated work, especially the reminder mailers, MIS reporting, services managed for a client. So billing, the number of hours recording, and what are all the work done, tax filing, taking the data, accumulation. So there are many repetitive process. This repetitive process, should it be done only manually or can it be mechanized? Yes, it can be mechanized. If it is mechanized, then error free, efficiency, fast, everything is possible, and that is possible only because of technology. Okay, so robotic process automation is one area where chartered accountants can play a, I will say, they can create magic. Okay, they can create magic. Okay, so not only for our profession but also for the client's profession. Okay, good. So that is one place, and other so many other things are there, and maybe I don't want to I will just give this. I'll only give a pointer. Okay, I'll only give the main pointers alone. Please go through this particular booklet. This booklet itself is in 118 pages, but I will say each page is a diamond. Each page is a diamond. They have brought out all these gamuts in just this one booklet. Okay, but then the forensic accounting and fraud detection. Now, for your information, recently ICAI has brought the FIS standard. Okay, FAI standards. Okay, so this is a one very important aspect I want to bring up. Please look at this. So FAIS. Okay, So forensic accounting and investigation standards, okay, for your information. And this forensic accounting and investigation standards, so I'll call this as so this is one thing, and this has already been approved on 31st of August 2021 itself. Okay, 31st of August 2021. Okay, for your information. Maybe I'll just take the particular standards separately. Maybe I have the forensic standards here. Okay, so where is it? Forensic. Yes, it's here. This is the forensic standard. So please look at this forensic. The component name of forensic accounting and investigation standards, which was published, which was actually pronounced on 31st of August 2021, and this is first of its kind in the world. In the world, no, not even a single country has come forward to come out with the standards on forensic accounting. Okay, and I want to bring only one important aspect alone here. Maybe with that I will take you to the next one. Actually, the meaning of forensic accounting, that alone I'll just discuss. Forensic accounting alone I'll discuss. There are three important profession that is possible here. One is forensic accounting, second is litigation support, third is investigation services. Three. And as the world is expanding, okay, the global expansion, finance expansion is happening. As the business is expanding, there is also parallelly we see scams, and forensic accounting is a method where you discover and evaluate evidence. You discover evidence. You want evidence. You only will use your magnifying glass. You want to see the evidence. In audit also you do that, but please understand, in order to express an opinion. But in forensic accounting, you don't express an opinion. It is not an audit. It is wrong to say as forensic audit. It is not audit. It is forensic accounting. It is forensic reporting. Okay. Now here, it will be used for court of law. And when you go before court of law, the my lord will ask, hey, what happened? Have you done a forensic analysis? You this side will say, no, my money is lost, my money gone. Then whether there is a bona fide intention is there, or mala fide the money has been swindled. So let the forensic report commit. So forensic report has to commit. Forensic report cannot say no, I will. And for your information, seasoned professionals can even be a combination of experienced chartered accountant, a young chartered accountant with data analytic skills. Okay, data analytic skills, because you have to evaluate the evidence. Please look at this wording. You have to discover and then evaluate. How will you evaluate? Using tools, using techniques. You have to evaluate. So evaluate and then arrive at a conclusion. That conclusion is very important. That conclusion only will be communicated, interpreted and communicated, and that will be used in court of law. Okay, so that is forensic. That is the seriousness of this term. So please don't take it lightly. Okay, so such a important development that has happened, and not only this, investigations services, litigation support services. So arbitration, litigation. Okay, this side they'll say no, we need to get 317 crores. That side they'll say no, we'll only pay 250 crores. So difference between 317 and 250. There is litigation. So how will you support your client or your side person? You have to go by various provisions of law, facts, circumstances, and connecting with case laws and all this stuff. So that is with respect to this, and I will take you to the 13th one. So I have a very limited time. Okay, we have a lot to do. Arbitration, my goodness, today both sides there are innumerable contract related disputes. People don't prefer to go to court because that is costly, time consuming. So the best is only arbitration. Okay, it is called ADR, alternative dispute resolution, and there for one side, the other side, both are commercial disputes. And for commercial disputes, it is money. And if it is money, it need to be spoken only in the money language. So chartered accountants are the right people representing the client in the arbitral proceedings. And I have one, I know one of my friend who is only into arbitration, and his monthly revenue is not less than 7 lakhs to 10 lakhs. I repeat, his monthly revenue is not less than 7 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Only on arbitrate, doesn't do anything else. Okay, for your information. Okay, good. Then Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Prevention of Money Laundering Act today. People every day, I'm sure people will come as a chartered accountant. Sir, I have this money. I am doing this. I want to invest there. I want to double it. Can I take loan from this and do this? Can I take this cash and do this? So many. Okay, this is one place where you need to understand. That is why we have a certificate course on anti-money laundering laws given by Institute of Chartered Accountants. I have people ask questions. Okay, sometimes. Okay, now these certification courses means once I complete a certificate, immediately there will be an opportunity. It is not so. Opportunities are already there. It is only the institute enables you, gives you that capability and capacity. Opportunities are available plenty. Once you have that capacity, capability, and that is the place where try to showcase your maybe you can actually hone your skills by doing this kind of post qualification courses, and also presenting in various forums in our institute as a resource person. Okay, all these are required. Okay, so that is your 14, especially being a consultant. And KYC audit, you will be surprised, guys. You will be surprised. I'm telling you, performance audit is there. You know what is performance audit? It is not only banks, it is also stock exchanges. Stock exchanges, they want their KYC audit done, okay, for their the members of the stock exchanges. So these are all there. So many things I want to discuss. Next is the local bodies. See, today local bodies are panchayats. Okay, panchayats, municipalities. Okay, they were following receipts and payments only. For them, accounts means receipts, payments. That's all. They have not heard about accrual. They have not heard about provisions. Okay, so they have not heard about what is called as an accrual entries at all. So the double entry system at all they are not exposed to. They are only exposed to receipts and payments. So today these organizations, they are slowly moving from the cash basis of accounting to accrual based double entry bookkeeping. And I must appreciate the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for bringing accounting standard for local bodies. Okay, so look at this accounting standard for local bodies. So how many standards have been brought out? My goodness. So you have 42 standards: social benefits, employee benefits, disclosure and the joint arrangements. My God, this much. Okay, so today implementation, say right from starting from railways, corporations, panchayat, municipalities. Okay, everybody, state municipal accounts. So everybody, they want to actually migrate from cash base of accounting to accrual, and they need the help of chartered account. They need, okay, they need, and already certain municipal bodies, they have migrated to double entry. Many are still there, and this is one area where chartered accountants only can do the best services. Okay, and let me now take you to SEZ. Today, setting up of a unit in SEZ for that application, getting approvals, okay, and then filing of various returns with SEZ, and slowly SEZ Act is now going to be repealed because already special economic zone has been set up. So the next law is evolving. Okay, the next set of law is evolving. So therefore, it is almost a 2006 law. So it is almost 16-year-old law, but the next set of laws are coming up. So special economic zone, now we have smart cities zones. Okay, so slowly that concept IFSC, International Financial Service Center. So special economic zone, IFSC laws. Okay, now smart cities projects are being implemented. So in all these, there is a requirement for chartered accountants role, right from project report preparation and necessary application approvals with the respective departments, representation, various compliances, reports, certification of the annual performance reports, all these are there. The next is Companies Act. I'm not going to discuss more about Companies Act. Okay, so many are there. Okay, right from formation till liquidation. Okay, so I will not discuss about that, but I'm going to discuss a lot about virtual CFO. Today, small and medium micro, small and medium enterprises, they need CFO services. Why? So they can't afford to have a CFO, but you can be a CFO for 10 MSMEs, 25 MSMEs, and from each MSME you can charge minimum 1 lakh, minimum 25,000 to 1 lakh to 2 lakhs, one company. And what and all a CFO will do? Okay, so right from management of relationship with bankers, lenders, okay, government authorities. So one CFO service is enough. The same is only required to be given for another client, third client, fourth client, and that too you can sit in your office, sit in your home. Maybe work from home is also possible. Virtual CFO services. So today, just imagine like what I was referring to, the bookkeeping services for 10 or 20 clients. Doing a virtual CFO service for 10-20 clients is sufficient. My life is settled. Okay, so that is the opportunity available. Next time taking you to Indian accounting standard, guys. Very important that all listed companies, okay, and especially companies whose net worth is 250 crores and above, mandatorily they have to adopt Indian accounting standards. And most important, SEBI also has clarified that in the offer document, past 5 financial years have to be made in Indian AS accounting standard principle. So there is a lot of support required from professionals to actually convert the existing or legacy accounting financial reports to IndAS formats, IndAS reporting formats. So customized services can be given provided you are thorough in all the standards. So you have Indian accounting standard 1 to 42, and from IndAS 1012 actually now up to 116 is there. So total number of standards are 39 standards. So if this 39 standards you are thorough with, and slowly banks are also following the footsteps of Indian accounting standards. Recently RBI has brought out one circular where, with respect to financial instruments, that is called investments made by bank, they have to classify the investments, classification of the investments based on 3 criteria. One is at cost, at the fair value, and there is 2 types, at cost, at fair value. Now those who are measured at fair value, again that will be of 2 types. One, fair value, which will be the movement will only be captured in balance sheet, that is called fair value through other comprehensive income, and fair value through P&L. So that means it will not be captured in the movement of the fluctuations will not be, the difference will not be captured in balance sheet, it will only be captured in profit and loss account. So the banks are slowly moving. So this is an indication that in the days forward, your bank audit will be in sync with your Indian accounting standards. So this is also a mandatory area. And for your information today, there is a lot of scope, especially the subjects like FTP, foreign trade policy. Okay, and this is one subject where chartered accountants, they don't pay much attention at all. And also in FEMA, where there is a lot of advice will be required for foreign investor who wish to actually invest in India, and an Indian company which they want to actually acquire a foreign company, they want to invest outside India. So outbound investments, ODI, and inbound investments, so FDI. So foreign direct investments, overseas direct investments. So this ODI and FDI, Both are great opportunity, and money involved will be huge. And you need not deal with 200, 300 clients. You have to deal only with 5 or 10 clients maximum. Your, I will say, your life as a chartered accountant will be fulfilled. Okay, so young chartered accountants, you need to actually think of all these dimensions. Okay, so I'm now only in the 20th rank. I have another half an hour time. I'll take you to the other areas. SEBI, guys, Securities and Exchange Board of India, there are innumerable scope is there. I will say lot. Okay, like for example, say listed company audits, mutual fund audits. Okay, and in capital markets, chartered accountants play different roles, especially advisory, pre-IPO, during the IPO, lot of certifications, due diligence, valuation. Okay, so support services, hand-holding exercises, and conversion of their financial report to the requirement of the regulator. So many services are required under SEBI. So I will not deal much into it, and all of us are experts in it. I'm here only to highlight that these scopes are there. Okay, now project financing. So every entrepreneur, they need somebody to handhold him till, so they are in a baby. So handhold, make them to walk. Okay, make them to actually walk comfortably without handholding, and make them to run. Okay, so until such time you should be next to them. So licensing with the banker, with the funder. Okay, and it is actually, I will call this as a social service. Okay, you are it is not a CSR, it is PSR, professional social responsibility. Okay, so but it is not for free. Okay, so you have to actually based on the project and based on the strength of the project, you need to actually charge accordingly. Okay, then internal audits, huge scope today. Internal audit is the only focus on internal audit today is what management wonders. Okay, you give me some value addition. Now what kind of value addition? Every audit, internal audit report is not reporting alone. You have to give an executive summary report saying, in this internal audit report, these are all the key areas you need to focus. These are all the improvement areas. These are all the good, very good areas. So like that, if we give a summary, you'll be happy. Oh, I'm good at this. I'm not good at it. So I need to say do's and don'ts from the internal audit. Today, a management only wants that.
Sir, are we audible, sir? Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Screen is visible, sir.
Yeah, it is. I am also visible, no?
Visible now, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes. So, thank you very much, guys, for being live. Just a small power outage here. Good. So I was in internal audits. Okay. So I was, that is actually point number 23. So 23rd. So I'll just share with you some very interesting aspect today that in internal audit, what is required by the management is they want that one page summary, what best you have done, what is the worst I have done, and where I have to do the corrective action, and most important, the corrective action alone. So that is where and ICAI has brought out internal audit manual for various types of companies, various types of industries, I will say. And there are certain companies where internal audits are also mandatory. So under Companies Act and also under the uh, the stock exchange provisions, the stock exchange laws. Okay, so those members of the stock exchange, for them also, you have mandatory internal audit, you have mandatory concurrent audit, you have mandatory system audit. All this stuff is there. So I will not spend much time on that particular aspect. But I will now take you to 24 is insurance management advisory services, and bank audit is the next one. And here, maybe in insurance advisory, I want to make only one point. There are so much of scope is there. Okay, maybe I'll just share with you only one. Okay, especially on the claims audit. Okay, the survey, a chartered accountant's role with respect to survey, especially in assessing the damage. Today, valuation of our a loss claim, valuation for a loss claim is one area. Of course, it is assessor who does it, but sometimes independent what you call as review can also be done. Okay, depending upon the sensitivity of that particular claim, where chartered accountants plays an important role. And there are insurance companies who actually enroll. Okay, they have a panel of chartered accountants, and maybe I'll share many of that in offline, who and all are for having such panels in insurance companies, and also panel in stock exchanges, then panel with respect to for virtual CFO services. There are websites where chartered accountants can put forth their profile alone, that what is their firm, what is their strength. It can be an individual chartered accountant, or it can be a firm also. So that is also available. Those things I'll try to share with you, those links offline. Okay, good. I'm not going to speak more about bank audit, and this month is a bank audit month. But I want you to pay your kind attention to item number 26, subsidy facilitator. There is a lot of scope here, guys, lot of scope. And clients, they want somebody to actually handhold them. uh, there are subsidies with respect of maybe electricity subsidy, machinery subsidy, back what do you call it as backward area subsidy, and first time entrepreneur subsidy, MSME related subsidy, innumerable. Okay, and for this there are certifications, you have procedures, process. Many subsidies require chartered accountant certification. Subsidies have to be applied appropriately with the respective evidences. So these are the areas. It's not only certification alone is a role, but also various other the support services is where the subsidy facilitator will actually add value to the respective role as a facilitator, subsidy facilitator. Business setup consultancy, I will call this as uh, MSME related support. or even I will call it as a startup consultancy. Okay. So today, a startup is having some idea. He wants to start as an individual sole proprietor firm, or you want to do it as a partnership company. You want to start straight away as a public limited company. What are all the rules he has to comply, licenses he has to get, and what are all the registrations he has to make, where he has to register to get the maximum support or benefit. So this is actually and there are chartered accountants who specialize only in setup consultancy, okay, business setup consultancy. And I have been requested to actually uh, dwell on a particular topic called uh, chartered accountants, role of chartered accountants as a startup consultant. Okay, I'm going to deliver one particular lecture, role of chartered accountant as a startup consultant. So where this particular para alone I will be discussing about for 1.5 hours. So what are all the roles and what are all the services we can give, and what we need to equip ourselves. Maybe we have not been taught in our curriculum. So what about the startup? What are the services required for a startup? So what are all the things we need to actually update ourselves and uh, be a hand holding partner? Okay, we'll be a hand holding partner for our client. Business advisory, especially young chartered accountants can be they may be very good in certain topics, certain areas. Maybe some of them may be good in technology front, some of them may be good in blockchain. Okay, so certain entrepreneurs they may require business advisory. I want to share one sentence which is there in the preface of Ron Weber book. Okay, it is the name of the book is Information System Audit and Control. The first sentence will be there. To be a good auditor, one should be good at the client's business than the client himself. So I should know more about the client's business than the client. Then only I can be a good business advisor. Okay, good. Then 29 is payroll accounting and related compliance. Today, PF compliances, the monthly billing for a company, you can actually, if you have systems in place, the process automation in place, that particular, like how bookkeeping services alone can be given, payroll compliance services alone today, companies are focusing, and that actually will ease the burden of the entrepreneur. Okay, will ease the burden. So only one particular aspect you need to be thorough there. Here, what is that? You need to be good in the PF laws, ESI laws, and tax laws. Okay, so related laws or tax laws. So PF laws, ESI laws, tax laws, and you have so many other related HR laws. Okay, so the Minimum Remuneration Act, Equal Remuneration Act, Industrial Dispute Act. Okay, so all these laws, if you are familiar with, then the sky is the limit, and you will be a mini RBI minting money. Okay, good. So then I was referring to this, like how the PMLA Act, that is Prevention of Money Laundering, and this is Prohibition of Benami Property Transaction Act. Okay, BPTA. So Prohibition of Benami Transaction Act, and that has been amended recently. And for your information, it is a three. Okay, this will be a Trishul, will be the Trishul. Once it is a Benami transaction, the property can be seized, and under income tax law, there will be a tax assessment will be going on. And the third most important is there will be prosecution proceedings. So number one, seizure. Number two, income tax proceedings. Number three, you will have a, what do you call it, as a prosecution. Actually, income tax proceeding is not under Benami property. So therefore, these are the two, plus there will be a penalty provision also. So this will be Trishul. So to, and if genuinely he is not a Benami to a transaction, but he has been framed, then once a notice is given, the chartered accountant, we need to actually be an advisor. We need to actually uh, help the client in making them very clear that, okay, don't worry. So the provisions are there are favorable provisions where opportunities are given to actually explain that you are not a Benami. Okay, or you have to actually bring before with evidences. Okay, so that who is the actual person who is misused or abused his provision, and without his knowledge. See, one particular advantage in that particular law is if you prove that you are not party to it, or you are not connivance to the events, then that means mala fide intention is not there. You are a bona fide person, and the client has not colluded. Okay, so then the possibility of supporting the client, and he can actually come out clean. So therefore, the opportunity for, and take my word, since the Benami Transaction Act, straight away arrest only is there. One representation alone, which gives a relief, temporary relief, the billing can be in lakhs. Billing can be in lakhs. And today, there are many chartered accountants, I can show you in India, okay, in Bombay, many chartered accountants who practice in Benami Transaction Act, where there one, okay, one sitting, what do you call it as, one hearing alone, they charge minimum 10 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 50 lakhs because of the size of the transaction, for your information. Okay, so for your one more information, that it is not that only the big people will be caught in Benami Transaction Act, it is also the small people who will be caught, because they may be abused or misused. So somebody has to represent them and help them out, that they are a bona fide guy, and they have not connived with the real perpetrator. And this is what I was referring to, the foreign trade policy. This is one area where chartered accountants are totally, they, if at all there are 100 chartered accountants, there are 99 chartered accountants who don't want to practice in FTP, okay, foreign trade policy. But for your information, foreign trade policy is the fundamental subject. I will not call that as a law. It is a policy. It's a government's policy. Every 5 years it will change. But that is fundamental for your GST, fundamental for your customs law, fundamental for your import and export. So all this FTP is fundamental. For your FEMA also, FTP is fundamental. So therefore, we need to understand the foreign trade policy. If we need to actually be a our advice is has to be a sound advice we need to give. 32 is state investment promotion schemes. Okay, state investment promotion schemes. Okay, so especially on various investment promotion schemes. For example, I am from Tamil Nadu. Okay, so Tamil Nadu government, they come out with a lot of investment schemes. Okay, so like for example, those who wish to actually start a manufacturing unit. Okay, so those who wish to start a unit in a location which is identified, that is why we need to follow the local budget also. It is not only central budget is very important, state budget is also very important, and we have to look for the investment promotion schemes announced by the respective state governments. So there we can actually add value to the clients by handholding them, advising them that these schemes are useful with respect to the unique business you are into. For example, you are a manufacturer, you are a trader, you are into agriculture, what do you call, marketing guy. So the state investment promotion scheme, respective years, they will actually focus on certain segments. So we need to read those schemes. We need to understand. So minus all those other stuff with respect to the other licensing part of it, but fundamental advisory, the documentation part, licensing with the department, all these are very good opportunities for chartered accountants. And I will now take you to 33 various schemes framed by Government of India. So like how you have the state investment proportion schemes, you also have the Government of India schemes also. Okay, so for example, I just want to share with you the schemes which has been announced by MSME schemes. I'll just share with you this. This is that MSME schemes. I'll just share with you the PDF. Look at this is the scheme. You will be surprised. My God, how many schemes are there? Okay, please look at this. My goodness. And almost every ministry, there are 52 ministries, and almost every ministry has issued a scheme. Now, please look at this. Look at this is actually MSME schemes. This is MSME ministry. This is a skill development ministry, 3 schemes. Labor department, labor ministry, heavy industry schemes, youth affairs, new and renewable energy schemes, Ministry of Development Sports region. This is actually minority affairs schemes, environment for forest and climate, that ministry schemes, human resource development scheme. So it all depends upon your client, okay, your industry, and whether there is any scheme is there. So we need to be constantly updated with this. So it is not only the CP programs are important, but also these kind of schemes also are equally important. Maybe I'll request the SIRC to come out with unique CP programs on these schemes, or also Ministry of Mines, Ministry of Road Transport, Consumer Affairs, Defense Ministry, Niti Aayog. Of course, every year this is updated also. So this may be I don't know which year it is. I just downloaded it immediately. We need to find out whether what is the latest scheme that is available and what are all the updates that is available on this. Okay, good. So that is with respect to Government of India. Now I'll take you to 34, consolidation. Of course, consolidation is a topic applicable only for big corporates, but even small corporates today, they have 3-4 companies. Okay, one company will be holding another company. So there the mandatory consolidation is required. Okay, of course, can you say no, I will not do consolidation? Of course, you have a option not to do it, but even bankers, they prefer to see the consolidated business. So there is a requirement to do consolidation. And who are all the non-controlling interests? How do I present it? So this is one place where, and today consolidation of accounts requires very thorough knowledge in accounting standards, thorough knowledge in the procedure for consolidation, so that, and also the presentation with respect to the information. So that is one area where chartered accountants, young chartered accountants can actually play an important role. Current asset management services, especially companies who deal with uh, the working capital loans alone. So there won't be much of fixed assets. Okay, I'll just share with you some interesting example. Say I am today companies who are into waste management. Okay, waste management companies, they deal with waste management. Don't think that waste management is a waste. No, one of the director used to say, sir, don't say it is kupai, it is not waste, it is Lakshmi, Ma Lakshmi. Waste is not waste, it is Ma, it is Lakshmi hai, Devi hai. You know why he says that? Because the moment you segregate waste, it is money. And today, for waste management, you don't need fixed assets. Even though you need the segregator, machine and all, sometimes the fixed asset is bought by the client in the client's balance sheet itself. But the waste management company, they will only give the service. So for them, what is required most is working capital. So when they deal with especially one state, one entire metro, they are actually dealing with collection of waste. It will be hundreds of crores. It will be hundreds of crores, and the working capital alone they have to manage. So that means you need exclusive professional who has to be on the toes, manage what is the fund available, how much you have to give immediately, next 1 week, 10 days, next day, and then manage. So it is current asset management is actually a skill. It is actually one role of a CFO. It is actually a CFO service. So that is also another very important scope. And CSR consultancy, my God, guys, please understand that today we are moving towards ESG. Okay, I'll call it as sustainability model. Okay, sustainability model. And already Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, they have brought out the sustainability reporting, the standards board. Look at this standards board, ICAI. Look at, they already brought this. Okay, so sustainability reporting standards board is already there. So we have Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Singhal is the chairman, and the days are not far off where we will have the in sustainability reporting. The focus is one third is only for financial reporting, another one third is for social reporting, another one third is for environment reporting. So therefore, for social reporting, today you need chartered accountant services, especially formation of CSR committee. Okay, after formation of CSR committee, you want to actually uh, spend that money through the NGOs. Now you have to invite application from NGOs. So you have to select only one or two NGOs or three NGOs. But there will be 300 applications. How will you actually rate the 300 NGOs? How will you actually shortlist it? You have to evaluate. So you need a procedure in place. Chartered accountants can play a role. Now, once the fund has been given, after that you need to evaluate the impact assessment. So impact assessment, sometimes the report will come. Now that impact assessment has to be what do you call it, as reviewed, and impact assessment will not be in money terms, but it will be in some percentage terms, it will be in point terms. You have to compare maybe with respect to previous year, current year, and then you have to give and maybe you have to compare the best practices, and then you have to say, okay, this particular project, what extent you have done an impact. So then only the next funding will can be given. Okay, so all these area where chartered accountants can be of great significance. So from an accountant, from a chartered accountant, the services slowly is now expanding from one area to other area, and it all depends upon your interest, it all depends upon your liking towards a particular area. Okay, I will now take you to 37, which is corporate finance, mergers and M&A. Okay, this is one area where due diligence, valuation, debt restructuring, tax advisory, drafting of agreement between shareholders, between two companies. So all these require support. Okay, so this is one area where people have a flair towards M&A. Okay, so people can come together, okay, and do it. So it is not एक आदमी का काम नहीं है. So it is not one man's job, it is a team. Okay, it is a team. So a young group of youngsters can actually think of actually specializing only in M&A. Another one is opportunity in family business. Okay, so today there is a lot of first generation, then the second generation they will also carry on, third generation will carry on, but third generation they wish to actually upgrade themselves in so many ways. Okay, like in terms of prospects outside the region, and grooming themselves, upgrading their accounting and the audit functions, and having a CFO or a virtual CFO, and engaging a virtual CFO services, and understanding their family business sentiments, and ensuring that that particular sentiments and brand is not impacted, valuation of the particular brand, and converting that value into worth. So for example, so many years they would have accumulated their value, but it will not be reflected in the balance sheet. So how, when that value can be actually monetized? So that is the place where chartered accountants can play important role. Okay, 39. ICAI itself is an opportunity, I'm telling you. Okay, you can enroll yourself as a technical reviewer in FRRB. Okay, because minimum 10 years of experience is there. You can be a technical reviewer for a listed company's financial report, financial, what is called as annual reports. Okay, and you can even be a technical reviewer of quality review board. You can go through the audit papers and audit reports of the firms, and then come out with what do you call it, as especially with respect to quality review certifications, and peer reviewer. And you can be a paper setter, you can be a paper evaluator, and you can be a technical reviewer for tax audit. You can be a technical writer for various booklets that has been published by institute. Okay, you can be a faculty member in board of studies, You can be a resource person for study groups. You can be an in-house faculty member for an executive development program conducted by ICAI. Okay, and there are research that is invited by Accounting Research Foundation or ICAI, for which minimum 50,000 to 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs is paid for research. Okay, and you can be a faculty for a certificate course and post qualification course where the honorarium is maximum 3,000 rupees per hour. Okay, so that is also possible. So you can be what is it? 38 is family business. Okay, and 39 is your ICA itself is your they give you an opportunity. And last one or two, and after that I'll invite queries from all of you. Okay, and we have WTO consultancy, and I must tell you guys, we had one post qualification course. Now it is not there. I must tell you, I was the first batch in that post qualification course, certificate course on World Trade or WTO and international trade laws. So it is called WTO, it is called DITL, post qualification course diploma in international trade laws and WTO, ITL and international trade laws and WTO. And the first batch we had some 30 participants, and almost every one of us we cleared. And that was the time, I must tell you, it is 2006 or 7 that particular certificate course came, and I was the first batch. And in my batch, MR Venkatesh, myself, and MR Venkatesh partner G Srikant, we were all doing that particular course along with many from Erode, one of my chartered accountant friend, they were also doing, from Tirupur, and from Tamil Nadu many people we were doing that particular course. And out of the 6 papers, one paper is an open book paper. Okay, that means they'll give you the WTO agreements, so you have to refer that agreement and you have to answer the thing. And that was the time when we had Mr. T.N. Manoharan as the vice president. Okay, and I still now remember when that question paper was given to us, the uh, supervisor was saying, no, all 6 papers we will not allow you book. So we have to fight and say, no, as per the rule, the 6th paper we have to look at the book and we have to write. Actually, question will be different, and the general agreement, trade and tariff, and WTO agreements will be there. So we have to refer that agreement and then we have to write the answer. So then we have to call the president, vice president, and during the examination, we took a half-an-hour break. Then we got a direction that no, you allow them to use the book during the, because it is as per that. So why I am saying this? See, today there are we have what do you call it as the anti-dumping duties, anti-subsidy duties, safeguard duties, dispute settlement proceedings, and there are multinational companies, they want to actually establish their units across the globe. So you get a consultancy. Now you have to advise them. So in which country they have to set up, so that the respective laws will facilitate them for procuring raw material, manufacturing, and then exporting. So imports and exports. So you need to be thorough with the WTO laws, international trade laws, and World Trade Organization, the respective agreements between the countries. So where the dumping calculation, the adjustment data, representation before authorities, various statistics, subsidies available. So all these aspects will, and today those who are consultants in WTO, they actually mint money. I must tell you, they actually mint money in consulting. And IPR, last but not the least, last 2 things I'll just say. IPR, this is an area where not many chartered accountants are there, especially not only with respect to registration of IPR, but also representation during, because for example, if it is a patent registration, it doesn't happen that only you put an application, you will get the patent. Sometimes you have to go appear once, twice, thrice, 4. They will ask a lot of questions, documentation, the originality, you have to prove it, you have to explain. So you have to document it, draft it properly in legal terms, and then represent it, and then advise accordingly. So IPR laws are also is an area where not many are practicing. So it all depends upon your thirst for that particular subject. FDI advisory, okay, so especially ODI FDI advisory. So I was referring to the overseas director. FDA alone, advisory with respect to drafting of agreement, vetting of agreement, representation before the various authorities. So all these, I will actually include this as part of your FEMA related services. So I will not include 42 as a 42, but 42 I will only have it as tin facilitation center. Today, may not be in Chennai, okay, may not be in Chennai, but across outside Chennai, almost every town, if you go, every tier 2 or tier 3 cities or towns, you have chartered accountants who have facilitation centers or counters. Okay, so especially for tin facilitation centers where PAN can be applied, TDS return can be filed. Okay, so all these and correction of PAN, all these services. Okay, so I will thank the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for this wonderful opportunity that has been bestowed to share my thoughts. I'll be open now. I will be now open for questions. Okay, maybe if possible, we will take queries if they are able to well and good. Otherwise, you can put the questions in the chat, and I'll
Sir,
request Selva to actually collate
sir,
all
I
those
completed.
questions, and we'll take those questions from Selva. Thank you very much, and special thanks to Geeta, Srimati CAAB Geeta, Regional Council member from Bangalore, for being part of today's program opening remarks. And
Is my
also,
screen visible, sir?
for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much.
Sir, is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, absolutely visible.
Thank you, sir. Take it. So, see if this taken or else
Oh,
if not. So,
Madam has joined by video. Thank you very much.
yeah.
So let me take question number 1.
Sorry, I apologize. So I couldn't join through video in the initial stage of the session. Thank you.
Okay, so we have the first question here. Actually, I'm not in Chennai. I'm actually outside. I'm outside India. I'm actually sitting in one mall, and I've told the people, so don't disturb me. I will be in an exclusive place. So thank you very much. One good thing is my connectivity is good. So, and only thing is I have charged my mobile, but I couldn't charge my laptop. Okay, good. Is there any upper age limit for attending insolvency professional examination, because enrollment form not allowing date of birth above 60? Oh, very good. Actually, you have a restriction there. They will not give you the license if you have crossed 60 years. So this is one place where I used to say that in the board of IPA, 65 years is the maximum age. In the board of information utility, 65 is the maximum age. But for insolvency profession, 60 is the maximum age for getting a license. But for writing examination, you can write. Okay, nobody can stop you. Elaborate few points on updation. Let us the various sources which we can follow for updating us on taxes, company law. Very good. Actually, I will say we have a PDC, the Professional Development Committee of Institute of Chartered Accountants. There is an app of Institute. Please download that app first, and please go to PDC ICAI, Professional Development Committee of ICAI. There you type your email ID registered for updates. So every day one mail, so many mails are coming to you, useful, useless and all. One useful mail will come from PDC. Knock, knock, knock from PDC. One email will come. So that will give you the latest updates about the various subjects, whether it is FEMA, GST. So they'll give all the link, circular links, everything will be there. Apart from that, they will also give the professional opportunities. For example, there is an advertisement given by Steel Authority of India. There is an advertisement given by the Coal India Limited. There is an advertisement given by the Mangalore refineries. So those advertisement link also will be given. You click that, that particular newspaper cutting will be available. So they would have called for internal audit. They would have called for some special audit. They would have called for transfer pricing audit. They would have called for some engagement. So that is also will be available. All this will be available in one page. So I will recommend you to please go for it. Apart from that, there are so many private players are there. You have like Taxman is there, Company Online is there. So many private players are there. You can subscribe and you will get. Okay, good. Give us some more info on opportunity for members in industry and growth in corporates. Can members switch from industry to practice and vice versa once or twice from each other? Actually, a very good question. Actually, this is a question everybody have. So it is like where is green pastures? So as people are who are in industry, they always will think okay, people in practice, sir, you are king of yourself. Anytime you can go to office, you can take leave on your own, and the sky is the limit. You earn so much. You do a lot of tax planning. We pay 30% tax. So from this side, we'll always feel okay, you are earning monthly 2 lakhs, monthly 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs. Some of them they even earn monthly 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs. So their monthly salary will be minimum 1.5 crores or 2 crores. You are guaranteed of that income. So every side will have that arguments. But one message I want to give here, okay, that whether can members switch from industry to practice and vice versa is a maybe from a text point of view, it is easy to type it. But switching over from industry to practice, okay, practice is one area where you build rapport with your client, and client always feel that somebody is there I can always refer to. And you leave the industry, you leave the practice and go to service, that confidence is broken. I was referring to three mantra. One is updation, second is values, third is best practices. So the value is the relationship what you carry with your client, and most important, the relationship means the most significant aspect is that the client should have a confidence. Yes, I have a person who can be referred, who can always be at my comfort. So no, only a person who pays higher fees I will spend time, lower fees I will not spend time. No, every client is very important. So shifting from industry to practice, you can do it. But again, shifting from practice to industry, maybe if you have started as a practitioner, you want to shift to industry, do it. You want to maybe you are in industry, you want to carry that experience to practice. Both are acceptable. You want to carry your industry practice to your certificate of practice, acceptable. Or your experience as practitioner, you want to use it in industry, acceptable. But hopping from this place to that place will actually will not give you will not make you anywhere. Okay, so that is one thing you need to keep in mind at the start of your career. So only one rule means, please stick on to one place. So please stick on to one place. Very rarely we see uh, persons working in one particular organization. I have come across recently one madam. She was working in Standard Chartered, and for she's told me that she has been working in that particular company for 18 years. I was surprised actually. And there was one more chartered accountant in Airtel. He told me, I've been working in this particular company for the past 13 years. So more than a decade in one private sector is a great achievement actually. I will, from my perspective, from my experience, what I am saying. So, and from the employer perspective, why you have been continuing there? Because of your integrity and your dedication. You have been actually worthwhile in that particular company. So therefore, youngsters, please decide at what is your I will say, don't go by the monetary aspect. It is not money that actually will give you the comfort. It is only your satisfaction at the end of the day. Satisfaction at the end of the day. So money is not everything. Please remember, money is not everything. And once you have the skill set, you have the values, and you update yourself, the money is automatic. I'm telling you, money is automatic, whether you are in practice or industry. Okay. Sir, can you please elaborate on KYC audit opportunities? How different it is from KYC checks under concurrent audit? Wow, it's a good question. Now, KYC audit, I will tell you, performance audit. There is an audit which is mandated by the exchange, what is called stock exchange, whether it is Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange. It is mandated for depositories, depository participant, DPs. It is a DP audit. In DP audit, there is a performance audit. In performance audit, you have to only do KYC audit. What is it? How many people you have registered during the month? Okay, you may be a member doing NSC exchange buying and selling. So how many members you have enrolled? What is the KYC you have taken? So our main job is to take the application, see all the KYC documents. So sometimes one person, okay, would have opened a account in multiple names, and he would have given photocopies. There won't be any original. So they will say original verified. Many places original verified will not be there. So we will take sample 5 or 10. We will verify online whether the PAN exists or not. So this is a mandatory requirement for performance audit, and today chartered accountants are empaneled in exchanges to do performance audit for DPs. So how different it is from KYC checks under concurrent audit is for banks, and I was referring this to the exchange members audit. Can you please share some links where you can apply for outsourcing work? Many, I'm telling you, many are there. So maybe this is not a platform where because this is an institute platform, don't mind about it. You have my number in public domain. So whenever you feel that you need any links to actually apply for outsourcing work, I will share. So many are there. Okay, then are these opportunity services only for practicing CS? Actuarial services, why not covered in? Oh, it is there. Actuarial services is covered in insurance service. Actually, it was there. The time was very limited. Since I said 42 opportunities, I want to at least mention it. So I didn't dwell much about the various pointers that was given in the insurance management services. It is there. And actuarial CA plus actuary is, I will say, you can mint money. You can actually mint money, and as per Indian accounting standard 15 and Indian account India is 19 and A is 15. You have a mandatory requirement for getting an actuary valuation. So therefore, for one actuary valuation, the fees will be in lakhs only. So please understand that because you only quantify in crores, and your calculation is very vital. And don't go by these kind of calculation by any softwares. Today softwares are available. The software will do calculation and all. Your mind mental calculation only people believe, and people pay only for your calculation. It is not software's calculation. Okay, so good. Sir, can you please shed some light on freelancer or consultant opportunities as a trainer in the area of F&A or FP&A supporting MNC clients? Many are there. Okay, so there are what do you call it as uh, some MNC clients, they even maintain a panel. And it all depends upon some clients. Some of the MNC clients, it only you can only approach through your contacts. Okay, and that is the reason every MNC company will have a CFO, and who is a chartered accountant, who is our member only. So please approach through that particular member. So I always have a comfort because I am a member of all the 3 institutes. So every company, at least one company secretary will be there, whom very rarely people bother from outside. So I will have a very comfortable to I will have a comfort to actually walk in to a company secretary cabin, knock him, and hello, how are you? And please, I want this particular work from this particular company. Please help me. So he'll be very happy. He or she will be very happy to actually support, because rarely people knock the door of company secretary cabin. So good. So any other questions, I'll be happy to take, or we'll hear the closing remarks from Geeta madam.
Yes, those were the questions. Ma'am, it's over to you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for accepting our short notice invitation and taking your time out from your busy schedule. As you said, you're sitting in the mall and addressing our members. Really, that shows your commitment. Yes, sir, your 3 mantras, update, values, and best practices. And you elaborated 42 opportunities available to our members. So it's really it's a high time for our young professionals to take time to make the right choice. So it's very important to invest some time to plan, analyze, and take right step towards the field of the area, field or area which they wanted to specialize. So once again, on behalf of SIRC of ICAI, I wholeheartedly thank you for enriching our knowledge on the of opportunities available to MCAs. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.